Two valets scratched my car accidentally until they saw my name on the country club ownership papers they were vandalizing. Jake and Connor had been plotting revenge against rich pricks all week, targeting expensive cars whose owners treated them like invisible servants. When I pulled up to Hillcrest Country Club in my modest Toyota Camry, wearing casual clothes and a worn baseball cap, they dismissed me as middle-class trash pretending to belong among real wealth. "Look at this shitty car," Jake sneered while I handed him my keys. "Bet this loser tips in pennies and thinks he's hot shit." Their plan was simple but vicious. Wait until I went inside, then unleash their creativity on vehicles belonging to members they wanted to humiliate. What they didn't know was that I'd deliberately chosen my everyday car instead of my luxury vehicles to avoid pretentious displays that often accompanied club ownership. The vandalism began 15 minutes after I'd gone inside for what they assumed was my pathetic networking attempt over overpriced drinks. Jake and Connor retrieved their art supplies from the service shed, keys for scratching, dog shit collected from the golf course, and markers for creative messaging. "This cheap bastard probably borrowed grandma's car to impress people," Connor laughed while carving "broke loser" across my driver's door. Jake contributed by smearing fresh dog feces across my windshield in elaborate patterns while scratching "wannabe rich boy" into the hood. Their masterpiece continued as they worked together, spelling POORTRASH, using deep scratches and shit finger painting. The performance was fueled by months of resentment toward members who treated service staff like furniture. Their destruction reached peak creativity when Jake discovered my registration papers in the unlocked glove compartment, deciding to use them as the perfect canvas for their anti-wealth statement. "Check this shit out," he called while pulling out insurance documents and ownership papers. "We can wipe our asses with Rich Boy's paperwork and stick it on his windshield as our signature." Connor was adding finishing touches to his fecal artwork when he spotted something that made him freeze completely. "Dude, look at the fucking name," he whispered while examining my registration more carefully. The document clearly showed Robert Hillcrest as the vehicle owner, the same name carved in stone at the club entrance and printed on their bi-weekly paychecks. The realization destroyed both valets as they understood they'd just vandalized their boss's car while literally covering it in shit. "Holy fuck, we just destroyed the owner's vehicle," Jake whispered while staring at registration papers covered in their fingerprints and fecal evidence. "We're so completely fucked." Connor's face went ghost white as he surveyed their artistic revenge against the one person who controlled their rent money, food budget, and employment future. "He's gonna sue us for everything and have us arrested," Connor moaned, while realizing their brilliant plan had targeted the man who could blacklist them from every service job in the city. Their hatred for rich assholes had just been directed at their actual employer in the most disgusting way possible. The aftermath was brutal when I returned to find my car transformed into a monument of hatred and excrement, with my own papers smeared in shit and scattered like confetti. Jake and Connor waited by the service stand, visibly trembling as I calmly surveyed their masterpiece. "Gentlemen, I see you've been busy," I said while photographing their artwork. "Mr. Hillcrest, please, we can explain everything," Jake stammered with his voice breaking. "We didn't know it was your car. We thought you were just another member." Their desperate apologies tumbled together as they begged for mercy, explaining families to feed and bills to pay. "We'll work for free to pay for damages," Connor sobbed while pulling out his wallet containing maybe $30. I let them grovel for several painful minutes before delivering their sentence: immediate termination, criminal vandalism charges, and permanent blacklisting from my network of restaurants, clubs, and service establishments across the state. "You wanted to teach rich people a lesson," I said while calling the police. "Now you can explain to future employers why you covered your boss's car in dog shit." Within days, Jake and Connor discovered that employment became impossible when background checks revealed they'd been fired for vandalizing their employer's property with feces, ensuring their financial struggles would last far longer than the cleanup of their artistic expression.